Park, New York.
Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This defense for the Broncos, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A throw over the middle, taken in, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
The Bills are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind is certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
7 yards there and a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. And again, it's Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts him right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory. Down at the 33. That is caught. Westbrook's got it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
The line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Jadeveon Clowney able to get him for a loss of about 3. He was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13.
Lance.
And he completes it to Westbrook.
Finding room at midfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And this is caught. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Allen off the play fake. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Carlos Basham.
The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense, because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around if he's playing football.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Throwing now is Lance. This one swung out to Williams.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
Let's go now.
They give it to Williams, running right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From just shy of midfield, Lance. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 33 yards that time.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. CD, that's his second touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Going for the deep ball. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now Allen again. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, it might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Javonte Williams,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it is 28-0.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. On play action, Allen. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Again, they'll throw with Allen. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Throwing is Allen on third. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And this is caught. Touchdown, Bills. Stephon Diggs. 34 yards. And the Bills are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lance. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Off of play action, here's Lance. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
22 meters. Right through.
Here's Lance.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Let's go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
38.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
York able to send this one through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Ready.
They start the second half here with Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
51 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. From the 35 on second down, Lance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The Broncos send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
Yeah, this defense as a whole has really been flying to the football all game long. They have not allowed too much of anything, and here's another example. A great play there to get in and disrupt it before it could get going.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll leave them with a third and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen right back to Cook for another completion.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And some room to work. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. From 13 yards out.
And the Bills are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead will be cut down to 14.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 24, Lance. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
Jair Elam makes a pick.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Allen now looks to throw. Touchdown! James Cook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 14-yard line. 120 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Well, what a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. Well, look at this, a tight end carry. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Lance looking to throw it. That's caught at the 3. Touchdown, Broncos. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a two-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. Taken in at the 3. And he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They start the drive with Cook. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Allen to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now Allen, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. Thank goodness. That means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Lance going to throw. Screen play set up for Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Now a play fake. Lance. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. York now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score Broncos 45, Bills 24.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Going deep for Diggs.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Allen from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
One final try here for Allen. Pass delivered successfully to Knox on the out route.
And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll give to Williams, running right. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
129 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far.
Here it's 3rd and 2. To throw, it's Lance. Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays and big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Ready.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
York able to send this one through.
But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Charles, a lot